paused, and now we are recording.
Recorded, yes.
We are recording, yes.
Share screen. Welcome. That's the first thing I want to say is, and I pray that everybody is safe and that everybody, though we are in very challenging times, that you are at peace and comfortable in your own spaces. I am Karen Hopkins, and I am Executive Director of the Tuskegee Area Chamber of Commerce. And it's my privilege tonight to welcome this newly formed Board of Directors for the Chamber. I want to give you a little preview of what to expect tonight. We're going to present a regular agenda, which is formatted exactly like the regular membership agenda. We're going to move away from some of the components of a regular agenda because this is a very special meeting for our board members. So again, we want to thank you for accepting this position of governing the chamber. And I know Roland's got some exciting plans and thoughts about the future. So he is going to preside over this meeting. I have extended greetings and welcome, and we're going to move along with the agenda. So our next order of business would be a moment of silence. So give yourselves a...
Madam Executive Director.
Yes, ma'am.
I would ask as we go into this moment of silence that we would remember, of course, Mrs. Melanice Robinson, who made her transition. But also let us be in prayer with Rose Washington, our songbird. Her husband, Jerry, made his transition. And she is not doing well at all. Please be in prayer for our songbird, Rose Washington. Thank you.
Thank you as well.
In one of the most terrible democracies we will ever know, and conduct this kind of abusive conduct that threatens the actual lives of people who have been sent to Washington.
Somebody got that television on.
Okay.
And that concludes our moment of silence. Roland?
I just got a call, Madam Director, that Mr. Lynn Patton made his transition at 4:45.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
oh, God.
Oh, gosh.
Well,
Wow, that's a tough one.
yes.
Yes, real tough.
Roland, can you please take over from here?
I will. Everyone has a copy of the agenda. We do have a quorum. We have 24 of the on the call, so that would be 24 participants. And if I could, then could I have a motion to adopt the minutes?
Benjamin Rackley, I move that we adopt the minutes as printed.
And is there a second?
Second the motion.
All right, Charlie. All right, Charlie seconded. Let us have a vote of those in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or any amendments?
Roland, may I stop you for a moment? Did you mean adoption of the agenda tonight?
Agenda, that's what I'm thinking, because I don't have any minutes.
Right.
I don't need
My motion said agenda.
Yeah, and that was
Adoption of the agenda.
hopefully my request was for, but if it wasn't,
All right.
that's the way I heard it. Was
Thank you.
Ben was the motion and Charlie was the second. And then let us do that again. Those adopting the
agenda.
agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I'll say aye.
With that, let me, there is a statement about that we are the strength of the sum of the parts. And Our chamber has what I think is a board that brings great strength, great experience, and hope for a bright and vigorous 2001. That this is a meeting basically to start a committee structure. There are a couple of points of business that we will need to get to, and one of those is I can, with excitement, say that we have to enlarge our bylaws in the number of board members that we allow. Right now, it's we allow from 15 to 25. We, at this point, have 26, and then we hope that when we communicate more closely with the university that number enlarges. So we would like it to be from 15 to 30. And if we could begin by taking that action, if I could have a motion to that, to enlarge our board to no more than 30. We hope that is something that we can do and at some point surpass.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
Fred Gray Jr. move that the board be enlarged to no more than 30 individuals.
Ben Rackley, second.
Right. All those in favor say aye.
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 Right. Well, I'm excited about the board and the people that are on the board. There are some things that we want to try to achieve this year, and there are particular people on this board for specific reasons, and one of those is Ben Rackley, and that's because we as a chamber, after this last year, know that we have to deal with health care. And so we want to try to see how health works into our committee structure and how that board, how that committee will fill out and who wants to be a part of it. Bernice, are you on tonight? Maybe not.
May I ask a question, please?
Yes.
Should that board have an odd number in case of ties and things like that?
No, not at all. I actually, Karen asked that same question, but I've served on the Alabama board, the Montgomery board, the U.S. Chamber board, and the Georgia board of the chamber, and every one of them has an even number.
Okay.
So we don't think that we would be in disagreement. But again, I would not vote unless there was a tie. And Harvey, how are you? It's good to see you.
Doing great, Roland.
Good to see you.
How is everybody this evening?
That's wonderful.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Very well.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So how is everybody doing this evening?
Doing great.
Great.
We are alive and well. So, but that Karen asked that same question, and it's for some reason it's in the chamber. It is always, I've never been in one that had anything but even numbers. So
Okay.
Let me talk about some of the other things I hope we can think about. Health was one. Charlie Hardy, you talked about one of the most critical things, and if you will kind of reiterate that on your comments to me regarding town and gown.
Okay. You ready for it?
Go for it.
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, it's a pleasure to be in the company of all these great citizens of this magnificent community. Just briefly, you know, we have a major resource in our community that we still have not maximized, and that is a university. And all around the country, where there are universities in various communities, they are very, very actively connected with chamber operations. So I would certainly hope that we would have an energetic program. We got a committee structure that would lend itself to dealing with that to make it more viable and sustainable. There's a lot that comes through universities that impact cities and communities. The second aspect of it is leadership. Every county in this state has some kind of leadership program that's structured, and we have an opportunity to have one too. Just this morning, I was talking to Arturo Menifee, who ironically was an intern with our chamber back many, many years ago with me. He now is at the University of Alabama. He'll be in tomorrow, and he's coming on with another program that he wanted me to share information about the CARES Act and some funding that Macon County can be involved in. And his meeting is going to be in the municipal complex, and it's 11 o'clock. So if you can come, I think that'll be helpful too. But basically, a strong program with the town and gown and leadership development are two areas that I think that we need to really have a strong strategic plan to develop for sustainability. So those are the two ideas that I would hope that we would be able to embrace so that persons who are running for office will really know and have a real strong lead on what we need in terms of leadership in our community development. So the quality would, I think, can be tremendously enhanced over the long haul, and I think everybody would. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Charlie. And in the area of leadership, if you look at your suggested committees, Judge Biggers, I hope you, you know, obviously you bring so many skill sets to the table. I would hope you and Superintendent Brooks and others would think about that leadership development and where we started and where I thought you noticed it says bylaws, but I figure you can do that in about 10 minutes. And then the rest of the year, if you'll focus on leadership, it would be helpful. So to complete my remarks, I always believe in let's get to the business of the chamber. Let's do it I value your time. We begin on time and we will complete on time. Anything outside of this meeting can be coordinated through me or any of the committee members or the committee chairs. This is structurally, the organization is built so that we through these committees develop initiatives, set agendas, and adopt actions for the overall chamber to take. With that, let us move on to the new business. And if I could recognize Mr. Bobby Davis. Are you there, Bobby?
I'm afraid so.
Oh, God. He's there.
I am here.
Thank you, Bobby. If you will go ahead with your report.
Okay. Okay, let me just summarize 2020, beginning with the general fund. We had income of $7,119.75, consisting totally from dues paid by our membership. We had advertising, particularly with the tourism network, of $1,700. Video production, $400, and that was connected with the WSFA when they were here on the square. Consulting, we paid $10,000. That's primarily to our director, Karen, but we also had other consultants. Trevor Small with the small business initiative that we had. He assisted several small businesses in applying for federal grants. Office supplies, $683, catering, $400, printing, $2,300, Spectrum Business, $1,900. That's for our internet and all that stuff. Zoom, $1,300. Operation Touch Up Materials, that's an initiative that we had helping small businesses groom up their business facilities. So our total expenses were $20,840. We had a net loss in 2020 of $13,720, but we ended the year with $37,086 in the bank in our general fund account. All right, now with our Carver Festival account, we started the year with $11,712, and no, a little bit less, $524 less than that. We only had website domain, postage, $100. We provided lunch for the first responders, $142. Post office box rent of $92. So we had a total of $524 in expenses. So we ended the year with $11,012.18 in the bank. We did not have any income because we didn't do a Carver Festival, obviously because of COVID. So that's where we are. In our Liberty Bank account, we had an ending balance of $3,728. We average between 43 cents and 47 cents in interest income. So with that information, unless there are questions, that will conclude my financial report.
Is there a motion to?
Are there any questions?
Your report is the motion. Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Okay. If there are no comments, then those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you, Bobby. And would you mind giving a partner's report on economic development?
Excuse me, this is Judge Biggers. Before we move to the next item, since we're with the treasurer, when does the budget get produced? I'm looking at the bylaws and it says that the board of directors shall approve all operating budgets of the chamber. So what part during the year, since we're getting ready to begin, we're in a new fiscal year, January 1, when is the budget going to be developed and presented for 2021?
What we've typically done is just report on income and expenses monthly. We have not prepared a budget, but what I do is typically give the income and expense items at each monthly meeting. If I need to do a budget, or if a budget needs to be prepared, then I can do that, Judge Biggers. But it has worked well over over the last several years for just giving the monthly income and expense items and beginning and ending balances in our various checking accounts.
The only
Historical
reason I ask
line
is,
expenses don't change
well,
much, do they?
the problem is we need to start
No,
following
they don't.
bylaws. And our bylaws say we're supposed to have a budget.
And,
Okay.
you know, one of the things we need to address too is the income side. Because it is, and that in combination with the budget would probably be a good course of action to try to, within the next couple of months, have a budget and a plan for income, and then present that at a board meeting. So
I'll be happy to do that. I'll be happy to provide a proposed budget at the next meeting, which would be in February. And what I'll do is look back at the last several, let's say 3-4 years, and get average expenses and average revenues and develop a budget based on that. And thank you, Judge Biggers, for bringing that up.
You're welcome.
And any other comments before we take action on the financial report?
Yes, I would like to know who made the movement on the budget.
Who made the motion?
Yeah, the motion. Sorry.
The report is normally the motion.
Okay. But I only have the second.
So we just need a second.
He needs to know who made the motion.
Davis made the motion.
Okay.
Davis made the motion.
Bobby Davis made the motion by way of his report, of my report, and Dr. Harrington seconded.
And
that's Dr. Hopalong Harrington.
And
Thank you.
Judge Biggers passed judgment on it. So, okay. Kelvin, if you would give your, were you doing the minutes, Kelvin, from the November meeting?
I wasn't sure if minutes were read at a board meeting, but I can read them
if you would do that. That'd be great.
Mr. Chairman, you want to carry the motion through on the treasurer's report?
I do, and I apologize.
That's all right. We'll work with you.
My parliamentarian.
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Kelvin, if you would provide the minutes from November, the November meeting.
Okay, thank you, sir. Tuskegee Area Chamber of Commerce, a meeting presented on November 23rd, 2020. The Chamber Zoom meeting was called to order at 6:30 p.m. by Karen Hopkins, followed by a moment of silence in memory of President Loretta Alexander. The agenda was adopted with any noted correction by Kelvin Stevens and second by L. Trimble. The minutes were adopted. Secretary Stevens read the previous minutes of September, and they were adopted, then read the October minutes. Well, October minutes were read, and they were adopted by Leslie Trimble and second by G. Clay, with one opposing. New business, R. Davis was not present to give treasurer's report. We had guest speakers. Chief James gave a report on multiple topics such as crime report, ensuring the officers have proper equipment, certain areas of concern, a few challenges the department is facing at the moment, pursuing grants, state COVID-19 guidelines for large gatherings, officer interactions of possible physical assault, increase in gun sales, gun safety, concerns for any hate crimes, community response, and troubles with the speed limit. Mayor Haygood gave some remarks to the officials that are here in Tuskegee it also addressed a few situations like bringing the community together in order to move forward, strengthening the relationship with the university, progress on tearing down the abandoned houses around the city, and a host of other items. He also answered a few questions involving emergency funds, having 2 rounds, getting the chamber involved into more community activities, following guidelines, and more. Well, no, hold on. Sorry about that. I didn't have much time. He also informed us on the COVID-19 cases, wearing masks and other safety practices to help lower the spread of the virus. Dr. Harrington recommended a formal letter of recognition to the donations from two professional athletes, and second by G. Clay. The motion carries. R. Vaughn gave some remarks on building a relationship with the Chamber in Montgomery and supporting other entities in Tuskegee. Announcements. Kay Stevens made an announcement for the great benefits for joining the Chamber of Commerce. R. Vaughn suggested we become more aggressive with getting people to join the Chamber. Dr. Harrington extended a prayer for President Alexander's family. T. Perot made an announcement on giving employees $5 and extending an invitation to the Chamber. Adjournment. Meeting was adjourned at 7:46 by Dr. Harrington. Thank you.
Is there a motion to adopt the minutes as read?
Yeah. I move that the minutes will be accepted with any noted correction, and I do have one correction to make. You can get a second.
A second.
Okay. Mr. President, I would recommend to the secretary at the end of the meeting minutes, you said, Dr. Harrington, what was it? What did you say? Adjourn the meeting?
Yes.
You want to say with a motion by Dr. Harrington, the meeting was adjourned. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, we have the minutes, a motion to adopt. We have a second from Anthony Lee. And if there are no comments other than the correction, let us hear those in favor. Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
Great.
Aye.
Liddell, how are you?
I'm doing great, Roland. How are you and everyone else?
We're doing great, and it's good to have you here, and good to have Alpha represented on the board. So we appreciate your regular attendance in the last years and appreciate your involvement.
Thank you.
Bobby, if we can now go back, if you would not mind doing your partner's report.
No, I don't mind at all, Roland. A lot has gone on this past year with the Economic Development Authority. We lost, the bad news is we lost a Korean auto parts manufacturing company to a town near Hogansville, Georgia. Everything went well with it. We did the best we could. They cited several things. One is our occupational tax that they did not have to pay up in Georgia. I got to thank the UBT for its cooperation. They had quoted a utility rate below their wholesale price, so we felt good about that. The good news is that's a company that the state of Alabama sent to us for consideration, and we came in the top 3 in the state. Well, top 3 sites in the state. we have been talking to another Korean auto parts manufacturing company, and they have bought some property out in the shorter industrial park, and they planned on building out there. That'll be about a $6 or $7 million investment on their part and about 60 employees or so. That's the good news. We've been talking to a very, very high net worth, individual net worth company about developing the some 800 acres off of exit 42. That's the Beck Turf Farm property. And they are very interested in developing a logistics warehouse park out there. That company was sent to us by Auburn University's Development Authority. So we feel good about that. We're real close to getting a development company who is interested in doing the infrastructure for high-speed internet connectivity, because as you know, the school board is lacking in that. So they want to provide countywide high-speed internet connectivity, which we need very, very badly. We are working on our 10-year strategic plan, and we are in collaboration with the Macon County Commission, the town of Franklin, the town of Notasulga, town of Shorter, city of Tuskegee, the representative from Peblin at the Alabama House of Representatives, Billy Beasley's appointment from the Alabama Senate, Tuskegee University. And we want to also collaborate with the Tuskegee Area Chamber of Commerce in coming up with our strategic plan. We're in the final stages of that. We will have a representative in March to give you the particulars of our strategic plan, Tracy Delaney. We wrote a grant to pay her for the work that she's done. We're also working with a company called Global Location Strategies. And that's a company, D.D. Caldwell, is a national company that their mission is to recruit businesses specific to our demographics and our logistics here in Macon County. Most recently, we're working with the Alabama Forestry Department, and the good news is on that, they have determined that Macon County is the best location in terms of wood products in the state. So on our CSX railroad site on Highway 81, just under the bridge to the left, that's owned by Beck's Turf Farm. I was on a conference call last week with various representatives, the CSX representative, Alabama Department of Forestry, and several other representatives, and everybody is salivating over that site in terms of forest product development. So that's real good news. We think that's going to work out for us. Global Location Strategies is also marketing that site. They have determined that it would be a great site for a toilet paper manufacturing plant because of our wood basket and because of the location to the closeness to the interstate, and it's rail served, and the creek goes by there for right on that site for disposal of various stuff that got to come out of there. So we feel real good and positive about that site. So things are working out for Tuskegee and Macon County, particularly Macon County. The Exxon station out in Shorter is nearing completion. Jeff's Travel Center down on exit 38 is about through. We had a little issue with Tuskegee University that we were able to work out. So we think in the next 30, 45 days, we'll have a soft opening on that. So things are going well in Tuskegee and Macon County in terms of economic development. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to take them at this time.
This is Judge Biggers. I have a question. If I may.
Yeah.
All right. I know that you indicated that we lost one business opportunity due to the occupational tax. Has the Economic Development Authority been keeping a list of what the challenges or impediments have been for businesses locating here so we can know what they are and try to address them?
Yes, we have, and we'll be happy to get that information disseminated to everybody. We'll probably have Joe Turnham on in a future meeting to talk about current events in terms of economic development and impediments to economic development. A lot of people think it's the utility rates, but it's not really that. The UBT has worked very, very closely and willingly with us in terms of recruitment, and we appreciate their efforts. But yeah, we'll have Joe on at a future meeting and let him talk about in general what some of the concerns are in terms of economic development. But we also need to recognize that it is not a sprint for economic development. It takes a long time to recruit prospects, but we have Global Location Strategies, that company. And I will tell you, Judge, that their contract with us cost us $50,000 to help us market and recruit the various sites that we have available in Macon County. And they're doing a good job. And the other thing I'm proud to report is the city of Auburn has done a real good job referring companies to us or prospects to us for two reasons. One is they're nearing full employment down there. And the other reason is they don't have a lot of land available for development. And we have both of those. We have, when you look at a 75-mile radius around Macon County, and that's what we do, there are a lot of opportunities for employment, and we have plenty of land at a relatively competitive price available for sale. And that's what's helping us a lot in recruiting businesses.
Could you
I
get
hope I answered your question.
You did, but could you get Mr. Turnham to get the list to us before he meets so we can ask questions, so we can have that before us when he does speak to us? Because we want to do all we can to improve the opportunities here for businesses to locate. And I know it's not just the occupational tax, it's a lot of other reasons. So if we could get that list before he speaks, so we'll have something in front of us, it would be most helpful.
I will talk to him about that. You know, his plate is full. You'll be amazed at how much Joe Turnham does out of his car and, you know, 2 office suites and a computer for this community. He had right before Christmas, he had to get out a prospectus to a company who was interested in buying property for development in Tuskegee. He had 3 days to get it done, and he got it done. So anytime y'all see Joe, please thank him for all of his efforts that he does with little help in this community. One of the things that we need to address in this community is social skills. You know, we got to know how to talk to folk who we don't know. We lost a cabinet company, cabinet manufacturing company, because they came in and we put on a real good dog and pony show for them. But unbeknownst to us, they came back and started talking to people on the street, just random individuals. And those random individuals just talk badly about Tuskegee. And we just can't have that. We gotta, I don't know how we can do it, but we have got to tell or let the message be known that you cannot talk negatively, or you should not talk negatively about our community, especially the people who you don't know. But that cost us a cabinet manufacturing company to Alexander City.
And I think also, Mr. President, if I might add, if the chamber, and I believe we're moving in that direction, if the chamber can become more visible and more active and more proactive, then that will kind of cut down on the street talk. But the people in the community need to know that we have a chamber of commerce, and we are really about the business of this community.
Dr. Harrington, could you say that again?
Can I say what?
Could you say that again?
Say what? What I just said?
What you just said.
I don't know what I said. No, I was really serious.
And I'm really serious.
I was really serious about the chamber. Here we are now as a board, a new board. We must become the chamber. I hear Chamber of Commerce units all over the country doing big things. People in this community must now know that we have a more active, you've been active all along, but we have a more active chamber that is about the business, the city of Tuskegee and the area. Okay?
Chairman.
And I need to say one more thing, Mr. President Rowland, if I can.
Go right ahead.
We have got to change the culture in this community with respect to littering the main entrances into the community, like Pleasant Springs Drive, like Wire Road, like Chappie James. We've got to clean up those things, man, because it's just embarrassing to bring prospects in town, and we spend a whole lot of money renting vehicles, vans, etc., to bring them in, and then we have to drive down litter infested roads to get to wherever it is we're coming. We try to sneak them in, you know, so they don't have to pass by those areas, but it's just difficult to do. We have got to change the culture about littering in this community. We've got to do it.
Chairman.
Mr. Davis, I would just like
all I got to say tonight.
On that point, a lot of those thoroughfares you see, there are people traveling, coming in and going out of Macon County, and they are doing a lot of that littering. So we really got to get law enforcement to enforce the anti-littering laws to deter that. So all of that littering is not done by Macon County residents.
Well,
Mr. Chairman.
I'm not saying that it is. I'm just saying that the issue needs to be addressed.
Yeah, Charlie.
We've got to get it
I
cleaned
think-
up. We got to
I
make
think what
it
we're
look
talking about-
presentable to those who we bring in. We've got to get it cleaned up to make it look more presentable to folk we bring in for investment opportunities. And the good news is on that CSX site, that 200+ acre site, you know, down on 81, they don't have to come into Tuskegee to look at that. We've had a lot of folk looking at that site because, again, our wood basket is the premier wood basket in the state. And that site is the premier site in the state of Alabama. One of few in the region.
Right.
So we're getting a lot of looks, but again, the good news is folk don't have to come into Tuskegee that site.
But,
You know,
but
they
at the
just
same time,
get off the interstate.
Bobby, at the same time on Sunday morning, going to Notasulga from Jeff's project, if you went under the bridge on, somebody took every bit of trash they could find and put it on the side of the road. So couches, mattresses, it's just, we do as a chamber, we've got the initiative to think about how we deal with it, whether it be law enforcement or public education. But that brings me, Charlie, let you make your comment.
Well, what I'm saying is that all of that's embodied in leadership development, in inspiring your community to take charge. You know, it's imaging, it's messaging. All of that's a part of what it takes to have a viable chamber, and combined with our economic development partners, everybody's singing off the same page. So that's where your leadership will come in, and we hope we can embrace that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one suggestion about that. A lot of people have cell phones with the camera. Take the picture of the car that drops that stuff and turn it into law enforcement, so they can have something to go on, if no more than to scare the hell out of somebody and threaten them that they will be brought to some sort of legal situation. That'll stop some of it.
Yeah.
The next item on
Yeah,
our
we need to
agenda-
have a PR public relations campaign to clean it up. I mean, we just got to do that, y'all.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
let's
it's
get back to the
a
next
real
item on our
impediment
agenda.
to, yeah. Go ahead, Roland, I'm sorry.
Next item on our agenda is dealing with lots of things. Now, we've talked about a number of initiatives, and I would ask you to look at at the screen, and that is a display of potential committees and potential chair and co-chair people. Karen provided a kind of an overview that was, where we started. Loretta had a very good committee system that is reflected in Karen's history. And what we want to do is, given our current agenda and the things we want to accomplish, what are the right committees we need to have? So what I would ask each of you to do is look through, and there is a government relations committee, a community university engagement. We've made suggestions of chair or co-chair. If you want to be on any of those committees or feel that there should be other committees, I would ask that you email Karen and go ahead, and we will put you on those committees. If we fill up too much in one or two, we may ask people to look at serving on another committee. But tourism, business development, what Charlie talked about is the leadership thing. We have to create the incentives, whether they're positive or negative, that create pride in our community. I can remember that I thought it was odd 10 years ago, but some people started doing little stickers on the back of their cars. And it was a pride, not a gay pride sticker, but a pride in our community sticker that went on the back of cars. And at the time you thought lightly of it, maybe, but the word sticks. Is we really, as a community, need to be proud of our community. And it's easy in a year like this to get down on our community and ourselves, and we need to think about how we improve that situation to one that we are proud of everything about what we're doing. So in the area of committees, Judge Biggers?
Yes.
I want you to make sure you're on bylaws and leadership development.
Yes, I see that.
And at the same time, Charlie, on the leadership development, I need you to think about a role in that committee. So,
This
Mr.
is,
President,
this is Judge Biggers again. I think the first,
Yeah.
I looked at the bylaws and there are no duties
Right.
for these committees. So I think the
Right.
first thing each committee should do is to come up with some recommended duties and responsibilities for each committee
That's right.
so that we can be effective.
Mhm. Yeah.
that's a good, and that's your motion that we have the chair and the two co-chairs of each of those committees develop a.
Well, and the committee members, they can meet as a committee.
The committee could be
The
course.
entire committee. My
Right.
motion, I move that each of the suggested committees with the members, recommended members, meet to develop the roles and duties of the respective committees.
I second that motion.
Very good.
Excuse me, we do have some definition to the committees that we can share with everybody.
That would be good.
Well, let's share, we'll
Okay.
share them with us.
That's what I'm hoping for, because before we can meet as co-chairs, we need to know what we're
Okay.
being assigned to.
Oh,
Can you see
okay.
these? Can you all see these?
Yeah.
The
Okay.
mission of each, and I'll forward this paperwork to you.
Oh,
Very
okay.
good.
Yeah, and you're certainly free to revise these, but I just
Yeah,
wanted you
this is
to know that there has been a running start on defining the
Right.
role of
Okay.
each
Good.
committee.
Okay.
That's helpful.
That's what we're looking for, I think, Judge Biggers, something like that.
Right, and you can, I'm on another National Bylaws Committee, and you can also look at Robert's Rules of Order
Yeah.
for, and for additional information to, lead or guide us to develop and tailor it to the chamber.
Excuse me, may I make a suggestion? May I make a suggestion? If you're not talking while other people are, please mute yourself and only unmute when you're ready to talk. So we won't have nobody bleeding or stepping on anybody else.
Yeah, we do
I might
need.
make another observation as we're dealing
We
with
have a
this.
motion.
I'm sorry. Mr.
There's a
Chairman.
motion on the floor.
Okay, we've cleared the motion. I want to make a statement.
You want to go, all right, we have a motion and second. Comment? Charlotte?
Yeah, the comment was the fact that,
Didn't carry it.
All in favor?
Aye.
First, you have a motion, then you have a second,
Aye.
then you allow comment, and then you.
Now and then we vote.
That's right. So we're taking comment right now.
All right.
okay, the comment it has to do with strategic plan. I think that
Let's see.
in terms of what we're looking at, what we're doing now, I think we want to be knowledgeable of a strategic approach with where we want to go with this vision. What drives people, what brings people to you, what enhances your membership is having a viable, strong vision. So it may be somewhere in there, I'd like to see us make sure we revisit the vision of the chamber. I heard Bobby mention earlier, culture. Culture is important in the business community. A chamber has to always have a strong presence that's going to be attractive to the business community, because that's where your dollars are for support. So I want us to make sure that we embody that, so we'll be strong enough to do what we need to do. That's all I want to say.
Right. If there are no other comments, then all those in favor say, let me let Judge Biggers, will you repeat your motion?
All right, I move that the suggested committee members meet, and their first order of business is to come up with duties and responsibilities for their respective committees.
All right. All those. in favor-
Second.
I seconded it.
We already have a second. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Well, I'll go back to my beginning comment, and that is that we're as strong as our individual parts, and I think that these committees will give us an opportunity to flesh out a lot of things that we currently are on the sideline and not participating in. There is One of the board committees we have a more accelerated effort with, and that is we would like for the nominating committee, which has a, George Clay, are you on the phone?
I am.
George, if you would think Karen will send you something setting up a Zoom meeting on Friday. If you would, anybody that wants to serve on that with Major Holland, with Major, are you on the phone?
Son is on.
Michael, are you on?
Michael is on.
Yes, I'm on.
He was.
Michael, if you would convey to Major that he will be getting a notification of a Zoom call and nominating, and anyone else that would like to participate in that call, they're welcome. But that by the end of the week, we would like that committee to have a recommendation on a new vice presidential candidate to be presented in our membership meeting in February. So we would like the action of that nominating committee to put forward one or more representatives that would fill that slot.
Okay. Now, is someone going to send out an invitation to that Zoom meeting?
Karen will send
Yes, I manage the Zoom meetings, Attorney Gray.
All right.
Oh, that actually was not Attorney Gray. That was George Clay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Mr. Clay.
Same thing.
Okay, and that's going to be 6:30 Friday.
6:30 p.m. Friday. Okay.
All right. Got it.
All right.
And are the individuals who've been recommended to that committee, the ones who are present on this call, are they all in agreement that they will serve in this capacity?
Great.
Well,
Yes.
that's out of order, isn't it?
Yes.
And is there anybody else who wants me to contact them about participating on the nominating committee?
I think Mr. Dowdell had asked to be on that committee, but as a member. If not, I think that we have a motion. Parliamentarian Harrington?
Yes.
Did I take the vote yet?
I don't remember saying aye.
But before we do that, you didn't ask for the nays either. And I have a question because I'm not that up on parliamentarian procedure. If we have a question and we're not prepared to vote on it, what should our answer be?
You indicate unreadiness.
Or you abstain.
Okay.
Want to ask a question or what? You have a question you want clarified?
Well, I just need the positions, the committees clarified before I agree to. I mean, I'll meet, and I'll help set up the the guidelines for that committee. But I may wind up not being on that committee because there might be something else I want to do, just based on what the guidelines are.
And I
So
agree that
rather than want to be on that committee right now, I would rather abstain.
So the committee, Dr. Parhams, that we have asked you or suggested that you serve as a co-chair on is Image and Communications. And if you could see the mission statement that was prepared and approved in 2017, all of this is up for revision since there are new people in charge. But if you could, that might give you a clearer understanding of what we've asked you to lead.
you notice we have put trash into that committee because it is the image and communications, image being the image of our community and the chamber. And so it's, so there are, even what we've talked about today in creating a leadership forum in the community, a lot of things we've kind of tweaked in these. So it would be each of these, the mission of each of these committees, we should address at our next meeting.
The mission is an overarching understanding of the various and respective committees. The programs and projects that are created are something different. You drill down to actually create those, but they should align with the overall mission. That is the initiatives, the programs, the projects that each committee creates, develops, and implements should align.
The mission could really be one sentence. Is the mission of blah, 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 to blah, 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 blah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right. Contact if you want to switch, be on another committee.
Yeah, please just send me the email address to the chamber. And I've been communicating with all of you all by our chamber email, but it's ourchamberworks@gmail.com. So if you want to switch to another committee, just please send me an email and we'll make that adjustment.
Not necessarily switch.
Okay, was this form sent out, the one that's on your screen? I'm sorry.
Yes, it was.
But can you be
It should be in your email. The one that you have, the one that you're looking at with the information about the mission of each committee was sent out previously, but I can resend any of these documents.
Given, are there any additional comments?
Well, if it was sent, I'll find it.
I don't remember seeing it. This is Judge Biggers. I don't remember seeing that email.
Yeah, order of the day.
You would send it out to everyone then. All right. If there are no other comments.
Mr. President.
Yes.
This is Harvey Smith.
Hey, Harvey.
Just want to ask a few questions, and I want to direct them to Carolyn. The website that the chamber has, does it accommodate us uploading these reports that we're giving here tonight to the website? Does it accommodate that?
The direct answer is no, but may I give a caveat in that the website is under construction.
And this meeting has been recorded, is that correct?
Is there a committee dealing with the website?
That would be communications.
Well, what I'm trying to get at is we got a lot of information going on here tonight. And nobody knows about that information but this little group that we got here. The general public don't know unless we inform the general public about what the activities of the chamber.
Yeah.
Like these committees, all of that needs to be out there on the website so we can see it. The reports that we doing tonight need to be out there on the website. We need to invest some money in the website. That will help the image of the chamber, I think, is the website, is the information that we gathering and putting out there for the public to see. See, we're talking about cleaning up the city, talking about economic development. We're just talking about it right here.
Mr. Chairman.
Well, Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, I hear Mr. Harvey very well. Once we get things organized and in place, that can happen. For an example, we could have a section in the Tuskegee News every week or bi-weekly or what have you. There are many ways to get the word out. I don't know how many people are going to the website.
That's not what I'm talking about. That's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the image of the chamber.
I apologize.
Bobby gave a very good gave us a very good discussion on the economic development prospects around here. And nobody who know about that, Bobby, other than you and Joe. The
let
community
me
don't know about
suggest,
that. We
Mr.
just
President,
heard
let
about
me
all of that.
suggest,
there's-
yeah,
the best way
Harvey,
to lose a
let me
prospect, the best way to lose a prospect is to talk too much about it to the general public.
And you are
That's
correct.
the best way to lose one.
Right.
So nothing should be said to the general public with regard to prospects until a commitment from the prospect is made.
yeah.
That's right.
Oh,
And,
okay.
and,
Well,
and
I
I needed
agree
to,
with
and I
that.
needed to
I
mention
agree
that,
with that partially. Yeah.
Harvey. Go to
Go ahead, Mr.
the
Biggs.
Economic Development Authority's website, madeinmacon.com. There's a plethora of information and data on that website, madeinmacon.com.
Karen, can I
The
ask
chamber
you,
needs to have that plethora of information on its website.
Well, may I also add, there's a way that you can have a link to Made in Macon on the chamber's website.
We do. Jared, it's there. We have several resource
Okay.
information links on the chamber website, but the chamber website is being redesigned, it's being overhauled.
okay, Harvey, hopefully, you know, we're working towards, I hear your comment. I agree with
Yeah.
you. And we'll work towards that. So can the general outline of committees, we have a motion. I'd like to go ahead and call for the vote. Those in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And exception noted, Dr. Baum.
Thank you.
So
Parms.
hopefully if
Get
you have other committees that you would like to be on, we're happy. We want to use you in the best way you think that it helps us. With that, we're open for any questions or comments that anyone might have.
I have a comment with regard to cleanup. If we're just making general comments, and two actually. The first one is that most of the trash that you see along Pleasant Springs Drive is actually in the town of Franklin. And so perhaps some communication should be made to the city of Franklin in that regard. Additionally, I would note that there are no trash receptacles. So if there's nowhere for people to put trash, they're gonna put it on the ground. So we need to call on the county, the city of Franklin, and the city of Tuskegee to provide and to maintain trash receptacles along the access and egress to the city.
George, you know, the one comment I will say that when the county took up their disposal locations, that's when my collection of toilets and couches and mattresses accelerated on every dirt road I've seen in the county. So I think you're dead on. We need to do that and try to get some solution. So any other comments?
This is Judge Biggers. Could we just get emailed to us the contact information for all of the board members so we know how to contact the members of our committee?
That's my next request is that, does everybody have Karen's email? And if
She sent that out, yeah.
If you would send her your active cell phone number that you want to be used and your email. In the case George, we know we've got to use your Me account now. Again, the $25 certificate for the best website. I think Anthony, you won that tonight with Anthony Loves His Family.com. Is that what it was?
Anthony Loves His Family at gmail.com. Now that's just an email address now.
I know. But if you would, text or email Karen so that we can have everyone at their fingertips can arrange their committee and notification. If there are no more comments, it is great to have all of you on board. We have a couple of attendees, I think, that were not here. I don't think I ever heard Dr. Brooks. If you recognize that anybody else was not on, please, Karen, you were going to contact, I think, those not on and try to notify them of the events of tonight, right?
Correct. I will do an individual outreach to anybody who is a board member but not present at tonight's meeting and give them a complete briefing.
I don't know about you, but I'm excited about what we can do. And with the strength of the individuals and the experience that I see in this meeting, let us, voice your interest, tell us where we're going wrong. Let us all try to get to the same point. And that is right in the community and active in economic environment. The whole reason behind doing the development of Exit 38 was to let's provide income to the city and to the county and to the governmental entities so we don't have to rely on the occupational tax. And hopefully we can phase that out. But there are other reasons that we all need to be involved in. Recruitment is one of those things where it is far more effective if business people tell a recruit how it is to practice business in the community. And I have a 13-minute apology for you. I value your time. And if I could have a motion to adjourn, I will try not to use any more of your.
I move that we adjourn, Ben Riley.
Well, before I have a question before we go. When does the board meet? I see on the announcements, the general membership meetings take place the fourth Monday, but when does the board meet?
When we call, on call. And it's usually, I think, given that we have set some charges to the board, that probably will not be that far off. So it is not normally scheduled, but if it would be, I would say quarterly would be probably good. I don't think we're going to wait a quarter on this one because of the committee meetings or the committee input. But I would like to give the committees about a month to develop a vision statement and a mission and flesh out what they want to do.
Point of order, Mr. President, I'm looking at the bylaws. On page 5, Article 6, Section 1, it says the Board of Directors shall meet each month except for the month of December on a date designated by the President. And then it goes on to talk about special call meetings. But the bylaws say the board is supposed to meet monthly.
Well, it gives me a good direction, and we'll try to call a meeting within the next month. So I knew having you on this board would keep me straight.
Legal anyway.
All right, if we have a motion to adjourn.
Mr. President?
Yes, Fred.
Can I have a copy of those bylaws, please?
You may already have it.
It's on the email.
It's in your email.
You mean the one that had these committees?
No, the one.
Yeah, that too.
That too is in the email. I found
No,
it.
I just had 4. Well, all right. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. I may not have opened up all my documents.
I know the feeling, honey. I know the feeling.
We'll give it a motion to adjourn.
This was sent on January 22nd.
You got it, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thank everybody for your time.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Good to meet you all. Thank you.
Check your Karen, check your chat, and Roland, check your chat before you leave.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Harrington.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.